So this is the Vatic Pro V7. This is a paddle that I absolutely love. So let's jump into it. Here are the specs. The V7's surface is raw Toray T700 carbon fiber. It's got foam injected walls, so that makes the sweet spot bigger. It's got thermoformed edges and unibody construction, so it's cooked hot, so it's got all that power baked into it. The average weight is 8.1 to 8.5 ounces. The total length is 16.5 inches. The width is 7.5 inches. The grip circumference is 4.125 inches. And the core is a 16 millimeter core thickness. Okay, so if you've seen my previous videos, you know I learned how to play pickleball on the X-Pac, so a super controlled Gen 1 paddle. Then I jumped to the Legacy Pro and I just had a really hard time sort of getting that paddle under control. That thermoform paddle, that pop, like I just couldn't get my control game to work with that paddle. I had to do a lot of tweaking, adding weight, trial and error. Ultimately, I did arrive at a pretty good solution, adding weight to the throat, but that's not what happened with the V7. What happened with the V7 is I took this thing out of the box and it did what I thought it would do. I had the power from the baseline, I had the power for my serves, for my serve returns, but when I was up at the kitchen, I was still able to place my shots, have way more control compared to the Legacy, and that's what I love about this paddle. Now, I did sacrifice some of that pop, some of that power from the baseline that the Legacy has, but I regained that control, which I need for my style of play. And so that trade-off, 100% worth it to me. And so out of the box, no adding weight, it was what I thought it would be, and I loved it. Another thing that I really like about the V7 is that it's durable. I haven't had any issues. Now, I'm no power hitter. I'm probably never going to delaminate a paddle or crush a core. Like, I probably just don't hit hard enough. But I've played with this paddle a lot, and I've had no issues. The edge guard has not come loose, nothing. And so at this point, that's pretty important to me. And so the V7, like, no issues. And now let's talk about price. Price is super important to me. And the V7, it costs $140, but with promo code Matthew10, you can get it for $130. And I think that is a really competitive price. Like, I don't think you'll regret it. Like, I think a lot of folks are looking at that $100 price point, but I think if you up your budget a little bit, you will not be disappointed. $130, I think, is super competitive. And finally, like, a little bit of like, I'm a little nitpicky with some companies about how you receive a paddle, and the Vatic, they did me right. Like, I ordered this, I got it super fast. It was coming to LA. It definitely, I'm sure, varies depending where you get it shipped to, but I had no issues getting it. It was fast and I had no damage in the mail, nothing like that. And that is important to me, and Vatic, they did it. And another thing Vatic did was they include a polypropylene paddle cover with your order. And I think any paddle that costs over $100 should come with a cover, and Vatic does it. Some companies, like Legacy, they don't. That's another charge. And so I think that's great. Thank you, Vatic. Please keep doing that. The one gripe I have about the V7 is its handle. But it's really a gripe I have about a lot of paddle companies, because I think they're shipping out paddles with too small of handles. This 4.125, like, I've got normal average size hands, and that is just too small. I have to build my grip up to about 4.5 inches, and so with the V7 and a lot of other paddles, that's 2 overgrips for me. And then in between that, I also do something called athletic pre-wrap, because I don't want to do 3 overgrips, that's too big, and so that's about the right size for me. And then I usually put tape on the bevels to really highlight these notches, because I have trouble keeping my grip in general, and so that's just something that helps me. And all that does add weight, so do keep that in mind. But really, I can't hold that against Vatic too much, because all the paddle companies are doing that. But it's, I think, an issue, because if you're playing with too small of a grip, that means you're squeezing more than you should be, and that is what leads to tennis elbow. And then the other thing is, like, if you're having to squeeze hard, you can't have soft hands. Like, squeezing hard, you can't have your soft hands, and that really affects the soft game. And so that is a bit of a gripe that I have with V7, but maybe that's a personal preference, and it's something like a lot of other companies are doing, so I can't really hold it against them. And really, I just can't say too many good things about the Vatic Pro V7. I absolutely love this paddle. I have my control back in my game. I still have good swing. I have those deep serves, deep returns. I've got power, I've got control. It's just everything I want in a paddle. And with that price, I mean, I think it's pretty unbeatable. And so I'm gonna leave a link in the description. Don't forget, if you use code Matthew10, you'll get $10 off. So that will make the Vatic $130. And then I'll leave links for the other things I mentioned, the over grips, the athletic pre-wrap. And then in the description, I also have some other companies linked and promo codes. And if you use those, I'll get kickbacks. That helps the channel, helps fund my paddle addiction. And anyway, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. That really helps me. And I hope you get to go out and pickle really soon. And just remember, it's about having fun. Thanks.